Alright, there's a couple things I want to show you before I head over to Photoshop, and that's over here in lens corrections, and this especially applies for zoom lenses. The lens I've been working with, it's really not as big of a deal, but for first part is around high contrast areas, like especially around stars. You might have some fringing going on called chromatic aberration, and actually there's a little bit here visible. They're usually purple or green, usually, or red or green. And this is not too bad, but there's a little hints. There's some blue there, there's some green here, there's some blue there. Now, a lot of this is also a star color on this. That's a red star, that's Mars right here, so that's going to be orange. So, keep doing that. Come over here and it says remove chromatic aberration. Just go ahead and click that. And it probably will not show up on the screen what you're watching here, and the fact that it's a prime lens, you don't get as much chromatic aberration, so you probably will not see it. But anyways, that's one thing, especially for zoom lenses. And again, chromatic aberration is kind of what's considered a color fringe. And the other one is for automatic lenses and non-manual lenses, enable profile corrections. Every single lens is going to have some kind of distortion, a barrel distortion typically. Mine's a fully manual lens, so this wouldn't have any impact, but I would still enable profile correction, and it'll remove barrel distortion and some vignetting, which is a darkening on the edges. Now, my lens doesn't do it, can't do it, because it's a manual, fully manual lens, so what I do is just come over here over to the manual section, as you see here. Got all these distortion and lens corrections, and come down here to eliminate vignetting. And really, as you can see, I can go all the long ways, and it actually looks unrealistic. And the only problem is these dark areas start seeing purple, just purple down here. Again, you took it way too far, so let's start over and just kind of go up just enough where you can see a little bit up here. Midpoint, as you can see, you'll go all the way, and it really just affects little tiny edges here, and affects the size of the vignette correction. Now, depending on how big your vignette is, the vignette is pretty extreme on this because it's a ultra wide angle lens shooting at its widest at 2.8. So the greater the focal length and the greater the aperture, the greater the vignette. But again, be careful on areas where it's shadows, so I would just go a little bit here. And like that's good. I'm still gonna get some purple in here, but let's go back a little more. And if anything, I might just go and add some contrast, a little gradient, add some contrast real quick. Let's reset that and just add a little bit of contrast, and that should take care of that. So those are a couple little things before we go over to Photoshop. The other issue, though, is with ultra wide angle lenses, like mine's a 14 millimeter. On the corners, as you can see, distortion. There's heavy distortion. And as you get more towards the center, there's a lot less of it. Well, and you'll notice down here too, if it's a flat horizon, you'll start seeing like a little curve. That's the inherent nature of an ultra wide angle lens, and we'll go into the correction of that in a later course. But as it stands right now, we'll just keep it simple and just go with basic post-processing. But just keep coming back. I will go into more detailed information on actual correction of distortion of lenses. But this is the kind of effect that you get with ultra wide angle lens.